You're working long hours at a job right now that you don't enjoy, feeling like you're stuck in a cycle that you can't get out of. And recently you woke up realizing that it's been years since you graduated school. And if you look back on the last couple years, you have absolutely nothing to show for it. And you know that you're gonna hate your life if you continue on like this. And the last thing you want is to look back on now, this very moment, and think you should have started something now. You want to make money online, you want to drive fast cars, you want to date beautiful girls, and the question that is on your mind is how? How are you going to do it? And one of the ways that you've come across is online coaching. You see these guys online who are making a lot of money online coaching, and they have the lifestyle that you want, and you think to yourself, well, why can't I do this? And the one thing is you just don't know where to start. So this video is going to be me telling you why you should not, yeah, you heard that right. This is actually not going to be a video talking about why you should. It's going to be a video talking about why you should not become an online coach. But let me tell you, I started my online coaching business back in 2023, and for the first 8 months I was online coaching, I only signed one client, which by the way was my friend that I knew in real life. So it was kind of a sad client. Like it was I didn't even actually get a client. It was, my situation was pretty pitiful. And then in August of 2024, last year, I went from $0 month after month to making $10,000 in the span of 4 weeks. From there, within the span of 4 months, I scaled up my online coaching business to $47,000 per month. And at 22 years old, from being lost, and I had a little bit of money saved up, I worked a decent 9-to-5 job before that, but I was lost as hell. I was able to make 6 figures in the span of 4 months. Again, at 22 years old. And this was with fitness and mindset coaching. And then in February of this year, 2025, I switched from fitness and mindset coaching over to business coaching. And now my goal is to teach guys who are in the same position that I was in back when I first started how to get to where I was making $47,000 per month. Because trust me, I know what it's like to feel hopeless. I know what it's like to see all these guys making money online and to try to join Andrew Tate's The Real World and try to day trade, back testing, and then hearing the professor say it's going to take 3 years before you start making money online. You're considering going back to your old job, or at least I was. I quit my old job and I was just so lost, making no money online, thinking, well, how am I going to pay my bills? Maybe I should go back to my old job, but I did not want to go backwards. And I can tell you right now, for me to make a change in my life, I had to hit a point that was so low that I hated where I was in so much that the only option was to change and find a way to start and grow my online coaching business to actually make money, be profitable, or die. Like, I rather would have died than go back to my old job. Those are my only two options. And now since I started business coaching, I've moved from the USA to Thailand. I live in Bangkok, Thailand right now, helping guys that want or think they want to start online coaching, leave their 9-to-5 job and live a life similar to mine through coaching. Now, here's the part where most guys mess up. It's they think that this is easy. They think it's a get rich quick scheme, or they can just start posting Instagram content. All of a sudden their life is going to change. Trust me, it's not, and this video is going to be a reality check. I'm going to talk to you about all the struggles and challenges I had to go through, and I want you to know before you start online coaching that these are the same things that you're going to have to deal with. I'm here to hopefully, open your eyes to what this is actually going to look like, give you some lessons that if you do start online coaching that you can use and apply to your own life to make the process a lot easier. Okay, so I'm going to go through from the beginning of my journey all the way through. I've got some notes here. And let's get into it. Okay, the first thing. So you want to online coach. You want to help change people's lives. Hopefully, that's the reason you're doing it. You also obviously need to support yourself and make money. But for you to be a good online coach, you need to sell a transformation. And the transformation you sell has to be from a certain point to a better point. This point, the starting point, needs to be not a great place to be. You're going to have gone through a lot of pain, whether it's a girl breaking your heart, whether it's being skinny or fat or obese. To start online coaching, the prerequisite is you have had to gone through a transformation and undergone a lot of pain. So when I started fitness and mindset coaching and my business took off, it was because last year I was in Thailand as a Muay Thai fighter, and I was trying to kind of make money through my coaching business and also kind of fighting. So I was doing a little bit of both of these things, Muay Thai fighting and coaching. And my business didn't take off until I had taken a fight here in Thailand, and I injured my elbow after that fight. It was on short notice, so I didn't really get a chance to prepare. I lost the fight. I got TKO'd, and I had an injury in my elbow, and I came up with a sickness that week after I fought. So I was stuck in my small apartment in Thailand with the ability, not having the ability to train, and sick. I had just lost a fight, and I had come to Thailand to become a professional fighter and change my life and have an online Muay Thai coaching business. My business wasn't doing well. I wasn't making any money. All my savings were dwindling. My sickness and injury stopped me from being able to train for a period of about 4 weeks. And what did I do all day? I barely left my apartment. I stayed in that small apartment, eating junk food, McDonald's, like ordering food to the apartment, being a fat ass, and wallowing in my own self-pity, thinking, why can't I make money? Like literally just feeling sorry for myself. And I guarantee you a lot of you are in a similar position where you just feel sorry for yourself, or you've hit rock bottom. And this was my rock bottom. And so one day what ended up happening was I decided I'm going to go to 7-Eleven and get a cheesecake. And the thought of it, after I've doing this for four weeks, I've just been eating junk food, laying in my bed, in my room. And I decided, all right, let me go get another cheesecake. And for a moment, I just took a second and thought, how good would it feel if I got a black coffee instead, downed the coffee, opened up my laptop, and just started working. I hadn't done any work or exercise in this whole 4 weeks. And this was the most pain I ever felt. Like I literally hated where I was at in life. Like I felt like every time I thought about trying to make a change, I was immediately sucked back into my old self. Okay. Now maybe you're not, at rock bottom like this, but you feel stuck. Like every time you try to get close to that barrier where you're going to make a change in your life, fear or some sort of resistance pops up and pulls you right back. So this is what was happening with me. So I made a decision that I'm going to go either get a black coffee from this coffee shop or go to 7-Eleven and get a cheesecake. And so the ultimatum I made up in my head was if I go to the coffee shop, it was a Sunday. And here on Sunday, a lot of places are closed. And I didn't know if the coffee shop was closed. And it was all walking distance. So I'm walking down the street. I have to pass the coffee shop to go to the 7-Eleven to get the cheesecake. My ultimatum was, if I pass a coffee shop and they're open, I'm going to get a coffee. I'm going to go back up to my room. I'm going to get to work. And I had to shower. I had to shave. Like I just became an absolute mess, right? So I was going to clean up and just get to work. I don't know what I was going to do, but I was going to do something. It was better than what I was currently doing, which is not doing anything. And if they were closed, then it was a sign from God to go get the cheesecake. And making that ultimatum, it's like I took the responsibility off of myself, put it on God's shoulders, and that actually gave me a ton of relief. Like there might actually be hope to make a change because God's telling me it's time to make a change if the coffee shop is open. But I went to the coffee shop and they were closed, and the feeling I felt was that's it. I lost. Like there's no way I'm ever going to get out of this cycle, because once you start heading it one way or the other, momentum wise, it's very difficult to get out of it. Okay. And so what I did was I went past the coffee shop. I went to the 7-Eleven, picked up the cheesecake, thought about what it would feel like to eat this, stuff my face once again, what it would feel like to go back, lay down in my bed, not doing it. Like I knew if I got this cheesecake, like nothing was going to change. After 4 weeks, I finally got to a point where I almost kind of maybe could make a change and get out of this rut I was in. And it felt good to have that hope. The hope got shut down. And was I going to get the cheesecake? I grabbed it. I looked at it. And I just imagined eating it. And said, all right, whatever. I'm just going to eat it. And so I took a step towards the cash register. And as I took that step, I kind of looked at myself from the third person point of view. I had Thai people walking all around me, and I'm just standing there blocking the aisle. I put it down and I said, do I really want this? Like I'm looking at this whole shelf full of sweets. Do I really want this? I said, yeah. All right, I picked it up and I went to the register. And as I'm walking to the register, I say, no, you know what? I'm going to make a change in this very moment. And I'm not going to go and work. I'm not going to change my life. All I'm going to do is put this down and get a coffee, and that's it. And that's what I did. And that moment changed my life. that sparked something so strong within me. And here's the whole point I'm making. I had to go through hell and a lot of pain to finally flip the switch in my life to want to make a massive change. So here's why you shouldn't online coach. If you kinda just wanna try and see how it goes, you're gonna be screwed. I promise you. I did it for 8 months, kinda hoping, trying, because what I'm gonna talk about in this video are the things that you need to do to actually get clients, and the things that I did in August of last year. This was around the end of June. So 1 month before my business took off, I made this switch and decided to get the black coffee. But what did July look like? I'll explain to you. What did August look like when I actually made the 10,000? I'll explain to you. But the things that I was doing in August to make my first 10,000, 99% of people would never do, because they've never felt the pain that I felt in June, where I made a commitment to myself. I was never going to be back in that situation again. If you have not hit rock bottom and you try to start online coaching, the challenges that you're going to face in your business will most likely kill your ambition. Because trust me, they did for me. You have to want it so bad that it's the only option. If you kind of want it, I don't think you're going to be that great. Because there's people that would die to make their business succeed, to sign clients, and to change clients' lives. You're competing with guys like me who would die to help their clients. So you need to ask yourself, why would someone hire you over me? Okay? Have you gone through so much pain that now you're at a point where the only option is to succeed? Or would you just like to try it out and see how it goes? Because if that's the case, go ahead and pack your bags and head out the door. This isn't for you. Go be a day trader, okay? So that's the first thing. You have to make a massive shift from a big and deep, sorrowful, painful place into commitment that this is gonna happen. Okay. Once I kind of made this shift, all of July, that next month, I was working out twice a day, extremely hard, waking up early. I was routined, I was disciplined, I was eating clean. Like it was do or die. I'm making a change in my life. And so I was kind of still on the fence about coaching, but all my habits were dialed in. So I did that for a whole month. And then in August, end of July, start of August, I decided, all right, I think I can make this online coaching thing really work. Like if I go all in. So the end of July, I ended up signing 2 clients because I was posting on my Instagram story, and I signed them for $1,000 each. But the thing is, here's the thing about online coaching. You're going to want a mentor, or it's going to take way longer than you expect and then you think, right? It's going to take and not just a little bit, but a lot longer. The way to go about online coaching is simple, but it's so much easier when you have guidance. And I knew this. So what I had to do was, my mentors that I hired in 2023 were 2 kids who had this online business coaching business, like what I do right now. But I hired them for $3,000 for 6 months in 2023. And around this time last year, like when I'm starting to try to really take this seriously, I wanted to get their help and renew, but they said, no, we're going to actually shut down our business and go our separate ways, these 2 kids. And I said, well, now I'm left without a mentor. I had just signed 2 clients at this time, and I was looking for some sort of guidance and help in my coaching business. And even though I had just signed these 2 clients, I had bills and I had to make some payments and things like that. So my bank account had less than $500 in it. I had an Amex card with no limit, so I could spend whatever. And this guy keeps hitting me up on Instagram as I'm on my morning walk in Thailand. And I ghosted him for a day and another day, did some messaging back and forth, told him I'm not interested in his help. And the 3rd day, as I'm walking in the park, or to the park, I really just think about, okay, I'm going to make this work no matter what. So if I'm going to make this work, if I know that it's my only option, then would it kill me to hire this guy that's been DMing me saying he's going to give me business coaching? No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't kill me to see what is his price and just hire him. Just say, screw it. I'm going to put it on the credit card. And so me and him go back and forth in the DMs. And without even getting on a call with him, I didn't even speak to the guy. I didn't even know who he was before 3 days ago, right? Barely even looked at his profile. But I just had so much faith in myself in this moment, and I knew I needed a mentor. I knew I didn't want to go through all the trial and error. So what I did was told him, all right, bro, I'm down. What's the price? And before he even told me the price, I was expecting like maybe 5,000, maybe 4 or 6,000, because my last mentors were 3,000 for 6 months. And this guy told me he's $10,000 for one-on-one coaching. I had less than 500 in my bank account, and I was not trying to pay him more than $1,000. So I told him, all right, well, can I just put a down payment of 1,000 down and then do it on a payment plan? And he said, no, the minimum is 2,000 to start with me. So I thought about it for about 5 seconds, and I messaged him and saying, all right, send me the link. I paid the 2,000, and then I ended up paying the other 8,000 a couple of weeks later, but it was all on a credit card. And I had nothing but faith in myself and his help. And this is the start of August of last year. Are you willing to do that? Ask yourself. I don't know how much money you have in your bank account watching this, but let's say you had 500 or less and you want to start an online coaching business, and someone like me comes and says, hey, it's going to be $10,000 and I'll give you my help to start and scale your online coaching business. And you have a credit card and $500. What do you do? Think. What do? Do you give me your credit card or do you not? I guarantee you most of you watching would not give me your card. Consider this. You don't know me. I didn't know who this guy was. I didn't know if he got people great results. Nothing. He just messaged me on Instagram. And guess what? I gave him my card and I worked with him and he helped me hit $10,000 that first month. Are you willing and able to do that? Are you? Because if you're not, then you're not committed enough. I promise you. You're not committed enough if you're not willing to do that. So if that's the case, pack your bags and go do drop shipping. Okay, don't do coaching. Coaching is a business where you have to be all in. This is what I believe. That doesn't mean you have to quit your job right now and spend 24 hours a day doing coaching. It means that you have to be committed to the time you do spend to do the right things, even when it's uncomfortable, and to having the energy and belief in yourself that you will be able to make it work. And then that way, when your clients hire you, they feel that energy and you can actually get them results. Like, it can't be something you hope works out. I can't say that enough. If you're hoping it works out, you've already lost the battle. You have to know it's going to work because you're going to make it work. And how did I know I was going to make it work? Because I was walking in the highest version of myself by spending $10,000 on a credit card with money I didn't have. Would you do that? Ask yourself, really. Okay, next thing. You're going to have gone through a lot of pain. You're going to have to invest in a mentor if you want to be successful in the shortest amount of time. The next thing is you're going to have to be fearless posting yourself on camera. So up until this point, August of last year, my Instagram stories were 99% pictures with text, like motivational text on the screen. But there's a reason I wasn't getting clients. It's because people who watch my stories didn't actually know who I was. They didn't know who Anish was. They didn't know what my values were. They didn't know how I spoke. None of that. And that's the only way you're going to get someone to truly hire you is if they can resonate with you. And the only way they're going to resonate with you is if you can speak to the camera. You have to be able to speak to the camera. Are you afraid of being judged by your friends? What about your family? Do you want to create a new Instagram account? If you're thinking to yourself, I'm going to create a new Instagram account so none of my friends and family can see what I post, you've already lost. Pack up your bags, go do something else. You have to be fully, authentically, unapologetically yourself. And no matter who views your stories or who views your posts and thinks they're cringe, you have to keep going. You're going to get hate comments. You're going to get people. For example, I made a post about LGBTQ, and we won't say what the post is, but I had a girl swipe up on it, and she recommended I take it down. Didn't take it down. She was offended. Didn't care. Someone who I respected too, but and then I got a text from my Muay Thai coach saying to stop posting about that. And what does LGBTQ have to do with online coaching? Really nothing. But this is why I made that post, because You have to speak your mind. You have to stand on your values. And this is going to attract people with the similar values as you and push away everyone else. And that's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I do right now. You're going to get hate and people are going to judge you. Are you okay with that? Can you show up fully yourself regardless? If the answer is no, pack your bags. I'll see you. Okay, this isn't for you. Can you call out people on their BS? Okay. Can you call out people on their BS? This kind of goes hand in hand with what I was just saying, but I was calling people out on their BS in the Instagram DMs, people that I knew in person. Like, I was a fitness coach, so if one of my friends who was fat followed me, viewed my story, I would DM him, saying some pretty blunt and straightforward stuff. And sometimes they would buy, sometimes they wouldn't. But are you willing to be straightforward with people? This kind of goes hand in hand with not being judged. You have to start conversations like crazy. You have to reach out to people who you haven't spoken to in years and offer them your services and your help. And you can't feel bad about it. You can't feel bad about trying to sell people your service. Some people, even some clients that have hired me for business coaching, have this negative perception towards selling their service. It's a service. You're helping people. Why should you do it for free? No one expects you to do it for free. And if you are helping people for free because you're so noble and you're so grand and you're so morally righteous because you want to help everyone for free like Gandhi or some shit, ask yourself, what is that saying? What is that conveying about you? Your time isn't valuable. It's worth nothing. How are you going to get paid? And the people you do help for free, they're not going to listen to what you say because they're not committed to it. So don't be some righteous moral guy trying to help everyone for free. You need to sell your service, hard sell people. You need to make them offers, and that's only if you think you can help them, and you need to do this often. Let me tell you about the work I had to do in August to go 0 to 10,000, because most people don't understand the work that is required to do something like that. I was posting reels, 2 to 4 reels a day, 10 to 15 stories a day, every day. I was researching what my competitors were doing, and I was mimicking that. I was figuring out how to do sales, high ticket sales. I was taking calls in the middle of the night, sales calls, only to be disconnected right when they were grabbing their card. Literally, I woke up at 3 a.m. to do a sales call at 3:30 a.m. Thailand time with a guy who's in the U.S. And we do a 1 hour long phone call. I offer him my service. This was back in August, right when I had first started. I didn't know this guy. He just met me through Instagram. And after a 1 hour call from 3:30 a.m. to 4:30 a.m., right when he was going to get his card, he told me he had to go and he would pay me later. And then the call disconnected. Never heard from him again. Well, waking up in the middle of the night to take a call, only to get my hopes up, he's about to pay me, only for them to be crushed. Can you deal with that? Is that something you're willing to do? If you're not willing to do these things, then online coaching is not for you. Go do something else. Are you willing to post multiple times a day, even when you're busy, even when you have other things going on, even when you don't have a fast car and a nice watch and this crazy lifestyle? Can you still post as if you do, with the confidence and the energy as if you are that guy already? And can you do it consistently? And can you send 20 to 30 DMs every single day to people that you know and don't know and follow up with them consistently until they tell you to F off? Can you do that? Because that's what I was doing. I'm not here to sell you some dream that you can just go 0 to 10,000 like that. You can snap your fingers and then people are going to start coming to you and you're going to get inbound DMs. Yes, if you have the right content strategy, you can get inbound DMs. But you don't know how many DMs you're going to have to send. You don't know how boring it's going to be, how many times you're going to get left on red, follow up with people over and over again. I had a friend of mine who I DM'd offering him my service one time, and you know what he said? He said this to me. He said, bro, like, I sent him one message, and he said, bro, what are you trying to sell me? I was like, damn. Like, he just sees me as a salesman. This guy that I used to know. Like, this is really what it's come to, like, I'm just out here it just felt like a bullet to my heart. Boom. He didn't want to catch up. He didn't, nothing. Just, what are you selling? Like, I don't want what you're selling. You know, you're going to get messages like that. And You're going to get people that leave the call right before they give you payment. You're going to get content that gets no views. It's all part of it. But will you post 4 pieces of content that all get 100 views and still post 4 the next day? Would you do that? If the answer is no, pack up your bag. All right, next up. Once you start getting some clients, you ready for this? Are you ready to deal with imposter syndrome? Are you ready to have the responsibility on your shoulders of other people giving you their last freaking dollar, looking to you to save them? This is what it was. When I first started, I wasn't attracting like rich guys. I was attracting young guys who wanted to get their mindset right and were broke and were giving me their last dollar. Now, obviously, I know how to market a bit differently, so that's who I'm not attracting, but heavy is the head that wears the crown. Can you wear the crown? Can you have the responsibility on your shoulders of changing these guys' lives? I mean, let's talk about some of the things that I had to go through, okay? I had one guy who messaged me, and me and him go back and forth in the DMs. We get on a call, and he has less than $100 to give me. I think he paid me $60 on that call and agreed to pay me. He's going to sell his shoes to get the money to pay me. At this point, my coaching was $2,100. So he owed me $2,040. He was going to sell his shoe collection to pay me the other $2,040 and join my program. And he was Uber Eatsing. Think about that. Like, he's giving me all of his money, hoping that I can take him out of this position, and it's up to me. If he doesn't get out of this position, it's my fault. Can you hold that kind of responsibility? Literally taking people's money, and what if they don't get results? Then what? Do you feel confident that you can actually change lives? If the answer is no, I guarantee you this is not for you. Okay? What happens when you get 5 clients, 10 clients? What happens when every single morning when you wake up, you have 20 text messages and you have to put out all these different fires? All these clients are calling you for different things. The other day, I woke up at 4 a.m. to take a call with a client who was calling me about a problem. Fucking half asleep, like groggy, waking up, answering the phone, like solving his problem, putting it away, and then going back to sleep. Like, I'm not saying you have to do that. You can set boundaries, but I'm in Thailand and my clients are in the US, so that's what I did. And so, like, are you willing to go to these lengths to hold that responsibility as a coach, as a leader? Can you be a leader? Can you wear the crown and have other people look up to you? And can you guide them to actually getting results? Or are you going to scam people and not get them results? If you don't believe you can actually get people results, guess what? This isn't for you, okay? This is not for you. Next up, can you stay focused? Can you stay focused? Now, what do I mean by that? I hired this mentor in August of last year. I hit 10,000 a month, and then the month after that, 20,000, 30, and then 47,000. And once I hit 47,000 in a month and 30 days, I took a step back. I kind of became more distant with my current mentor, and I hired a second mentor. And I paid this second mentor $47,000. Actually, now that I think about it, how much money I made that month, I ended up paying this guy in total over the course of different payments. But I paid him $47,000, and he was a mindset coach and a business coach. And he started giving me business advice. And now I had two different guys giving me business advice. The one guy whose advice has been working up until this point, and then the other guy who I just hired, who I wanted to hire him for mindset. I thought, if I hire this guy for mindset, he'll help me go to 100 or 500,000 a month. But this guy over here, the initial guy I hired, was giving me everything I needed. Why did I go to search for something new? And why did I drop a month's worth of pay on that? $47,000 for some people. For you, that might be more money than you make in a whole year. I gave this one guy, and I did not even make my $47,000 back from working with him necessarily. I actually had a month where I just became so confused between these two mentors where I didn't sign a whole client for a month. After having this massive success, it all came crashing down for a whole month. I didn't sign a single client because I'm listening to two different mentors and I'm getting pulled in two different directions. I lost alignment with my business. That's why the first phase of my program now is called alignment. I literally lost alignment and hated what I was doing. And at the end of that month, I hit rock bottom again. I lived in a nice apartment in downtown, right where everyone wanted to be. And you would think, looking at my life, oh, you just made all this money. You live in a nice apartment. You're in good shape. Like life, how could life get any better? I drove a Tesla. Say what you will about Teslas, but how could life get any better, right? It's just so good. And I remember at one point, at this period in time, I was laying down in the fetal position on the ground, my hardwood floor, just like, I wasn't crying or anything like that. I was just laying there, balled up, just like wanting to just disappear. I wanted to just leave. I didn't want to kill myself or anything. I didn't want to do anything like that. I just wanted to like disappear from this situation, like teleport to Thailand with no responsibility, no business, and just live on the beach making $1,000 a month. Like that's what I wanted to do at that moment, because the responsibility had gotten so high. I had let a lot of my clients down. Like I said, can you get people results? And some clients hired me and didn't get the results they were looking for. Now, was that all on me? It was probably a little bit on me, a little bit on them, but it's not a great feeling to go through that. It's not. And then also to go to $0 a month, to have just spent $47,000 with this other guy, like feeling completely lost, like there was no hope. How was I going to build my business back up from scratch? I basically had to start over. This was around November of 2024. And ask yourself, like, can you go through these things and still make it out the other side? Can you? Like, if not, then this is not for you. This isn't just going to be something you hop into. It's going to be easy, rainbows and sunshine. People are going to DM you. Like, yeah, maybe sometimes. Like, you're going to have to convince people. You're going to have to DM people. Like, and you're going to have highs and lows. So what I learned from this whole thing was stay emotionally regulated. Stay in the middle. Do not get up when things are going well, and don't get down when things aren't going well, because they'll always even themselves back out, okay? So I was $45,000 in debt actually at one point. My income was $0 a month. My business was back to zero, and I'm in the fetal position in my nice apartment in downtown. And imagine this. And my whole point here is I got shiny object syndrome. I was unable to be disciplined walking one path. I had some success. I looked for the next best thing. I left what was working. I went to something new, and it just ruined everything. It killed all my momentum. If you don't have the discipline right now or the ability to overcome the fear right now to have started your online coaching business, like, think about it. You're watching a YouTube video, like 40 minutes into the video. Have you taken action? Like, have you even started a coaching business? You've been thinking about it. You've made it this far in the video because you're interested about online coaching. Have you even made your first post? Like, how disciplined are you? How in control of your emotions are you right now at the starting point? Because imagine if someone gave you a business that was operating at $50,000 a month and you had 10 new clients every month to take care of. I mean, you can't even make your first post. You're watching a YouTube video looking for the saving grace, but you want to make all this money and go travel the world and do all these nice things. Like, does that make sense? That was me. You know, that 8 months where I signed one client, I was hoping to make money, but I was not the person who could handle the clients and the responsibility and the things that came with the money. So are you? You know, can you avoid shiny object syndrome? Can you stay disciplined on the boring path that eventually yields results? Can you do that? If you can't, this is not for you. This is not for you, okay? Here's the next thing. When the business is doing well, and this is the point, I've had to deal with recently, is when the business is doing well and it's time to start hiring people to work and creating a team, now you got to deal with people on a different level. Not clients who you're helping, but team members. Can you get everyone to cooperate? Can you have the tough conversations with people who aren't doing their job in the way that you had set the expectations? Can you be a leader to a team of people and create a vision that everyone can be bought in on? Like, I've had people that I've hired, they've come in, I've paid them thousands of dollars, and 1 month after working together, I found out that there was actually a conflict of interest. I hired them to do one thing, but they actually just wanted a quick buck, and they weren't committed to helping me grow my business. They were actually committed to their own thing. And then they ended up leaving my business after 1 month. Are you ready to be able to take on the responsibility to build a team of people where you can create a vision so big that all of their dreams fit inside that vision? And the responsibility of holding and guiding that vision on you, it's going to be a lot. And you don't need really a team until you're at around $50,000 a month, probably. I mean, you could even get past that without a team, but you're going to eventually have to hire people if you want to be this rich baller guy. All the top guys have a team. Okay, so now I've been able to learn how to deal with people and create a team and build a vision. But guys, heavy is the head that wears the crown. Can you do that? You need to look yourself in the mirror and say, am I ready to take on these things, these responsibilities? Because if you're not, go be a day trader, go do e-commerce or drop shipping or a social media marketing agency, go do something else. Don't do coaching where you're taking people's hard-earned money and they're putting their trust in you only for you to underdeliver. You have to be ready. Okay, this is not for everyone. Trust me, it's not. And if you are committed to making this work, you better buckle up. You got some lessons to learn, trust me, and you're either going to do it with a mentor or without a mentor, and it's going to be difficult either way. But not difficult in a bad way, okay? You don't need to get scared or freak out, but difficult in a way where you're going to be challenged and you're going to be forced to grow. So the question you need to ask yourself is, are you ready to grow? Here's the last thing I'm going to talk about. This is the challenge once you've made it. So right now you're at the beginning stages and you have this dream of what you want your coaching business to look like, where you're making, how much ever a month, tens of thousands a month at a young age. You're driving fast cars. You're in an exotic place. You're in Miami or Dubai or something. You're around a network of guys who are all doing well. You've made it as far as your standards are concerned. Now you need to ask yourself, what did you actually want all this for? You wanted all this, truthfully, if you really break it down, because you thought getting it would make you feel a certain way. You thought it would make you confident, or you thought it would put you at peace. You thought it would make you feel fulfilled to get all this materialistic stuff and build this business. What happens when you get to that point where you've made it and you feel the same way you do now? You feel empty. You feel like you're chasing the next big thing. You feel like there's always another level to reach. Then what? What you thought this whole time that you were after, this feeling of I've made it, this feeling of fulfillment that you thought you were going to get from making all this money and doing all these things, you actually don't get. And that was the most recent thing that I've had to overcome, and now I'm past that, and now I'm on to newer things, but we'll end it there. Like, these are all the challenges you're going to have to go through from when you first start, and there's even more as well, but these are the big ones from when you first start to when you scale up to $50,000, $60,000 a month, roughly. Are you ready for all these things? Imagine making it to the end, achieving everything you wanted, and you still feel empty inside. At least when you first started, you have a reason to feel empty. It's because you don't have all the things you think are going to make you feel fulfilled. At least okay, once I do this, I at least think I'll be fulfilled. But what happens when you have all the things and you're still not fulfilled? And you have to go internally and figure out what it is inside of you and your self-worth that is lacking. I mean, that's a painful thing. That is a painful thing. Are you ready for that? Okay. So that's it. Those are kind of the main things I wanted to talk about in this video. Give you guys a reality check to what coaching is actually like. Because you see these guys, Vincent Fisher, John Mark Stevenson, Sam Millsap, Josh Chang, me, Wes Watson. You see these guys with the Bugattis and the Lambos, and you just don't know what they've been through. You don't know. You see all the good, no one wants to tell you the bad because they want to sell you a service. I don't care if you join my consulting program or not. My goal is going to be to help you get past these challenges because I've had to go through them and I know what it's like going through them. I've had mentors help me get through them, but this is the reality check you need before you start online coaching. Ask yourself on any one of these bullet points, are you ready to deal with that? If the answer is no, go do something else. Now, if you're one of the very few people that made it all the way to this point in the video, and the answer is yes, I'm willing to deal with these challenges, learn, grow, and become a better person and have a more successful business because of them, then what I want you to do is scroll down in the description. There's going to be a link where you can apply to book a call with me, and you are the person who I believe I can actually help build a business that's going to change your life. Okay? Apply for a call with me. It's going to be a couple questions. You're going to pick a time, and then you and I will hop on the phone. It'll be actually a Zoom call. We're going to break down kind of where you are and where you want to go with your coaching business, how we're going to make that happen. And if I feel like I can truly help you, I'm going to offer you a spot in my business consulting program where I help guys like you be able to make the money you want, to quit your 9-to-5 job and live free online coaching. But truthfully, guys, mentorship, coaching in general, whether it's what I'm doing, which is business coaching, or whatever you want to do, whether it's fitness coaching or sales or mindset or social skills, coaching in general is not about getting someone to lose weight, or it's not about me getting you to make money online. What it really is, it's a personal development journey, and the person, the coach you hire, it's so crucial that they are a leader. Coaching is leadership. Coaching is putting your people before you and still being able to take care of yourself to give the best version of you to your people. It's not an easy task, but I guarantee you it's the most fulfilling thing you'll ever do in your entire life. I would much rather do this than watch lines on a chart and click a couple buttons and make some money by myself in my room. I would rather do this than be a trader. I'd rather do this than create a drop shipping website and sell some product from China. I'd rather change lives. And if you resonate with what I'm saying right now, then go ahead and book that call. I look forward to speaking with you guys. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below about my journey or any of the other struggles that I had to go through. You want me to elaborate on anything, go ahead. And you can follow me on Instagram and DM me, and I'll go ahead and send you a DM back. And you can ask me any questions and whatnot. All right. So I look forward to speaking with you. And if you're ready to start your coaching business, I promise you it could change your entire life.